All right, let's take you to Newlands now just to get a sense of how the situation has been. Remember, we have been talking about this issue of water shortages and how things continue to simmer, especially on the ground. At some point, you saw the mayor of Johannesburg, Dada Morero, having to be whisked away given the tensions there with the residents as part of that meeting. SABC News reporter Mthethwa is in Newlands for us. Mthethwa, good evening to you and thank you so much for your time. Paint a picture for us of how the situation is where you are.
Well, Bongiwe, earlier I was in Newlands where that meeting happened that ended up in the community members really being left unhappy with the decision, and one of the community leaders saying that residents are most likely to continue protesting even though there are some contingency measures that have been announced, like the 15 water tankers that will be dispatched to the area in order to relieve the pressure of not having water coming out of their taps. And this is while the Metro works around the clock to ensure that within a 7-day period, water will be coming out of the taps in the communities of Westbury, Coronationville, as well as Newlands, which have faced protest action throughout most of this week. But right now in Coronationville, community members continue speaking to the mayor at his second location, where he's listening to grievances that are being made by community members about the water challenges in the area. But also they are bemoaning the conduct of the police, saying that accusing the police of using excessive force to disperse crowds in the streets, and they are expressing their unhappiness right now inside of the venue where I am. Unhappiness all around, but it is unclear as to whether the protest action will continue or not. Driving around in the streets of Westbury, it seems as though there is some sense of normalcy, even though there are rocks that are still barricading the roads and some burning tires here and there. There's a high police visibility as well, but many community members are locked in this meeting with the mayor to try and find a resolution. Yes, the mayor has given them a solution while they are working around the clock to resolve this problem. However, residents are still not entirely convinced or happy with the decisions or the solutions that have been brought by the mayor before this community. So right now we continue to listen in on some of those conversations, but it seems as though there is some sense of calm. You will remember that the mayor was whisked away a little bit earlier on because community members wanted to continue talking to him. However, he had to leave that one location to come to this one. For now, it's back to you in studio.
Mbalenhle, thank you very much for that update. We'll continue to check in with you a little later on. My colleague there, Mthethwa, who's been tracking some of the developments on the ground as far as the protests regarding the water shortages are concerned.